Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
The City of Sigourney is now accepting applications for a full-time police chief. Applicants must be a certified peace officer and meet Iowa Law Enforcement Academy requirements. Candidates should have an associate degree and or at least 5 years of supervisory or administrative experience. This position offers a competitive salary ranging from $65,000 to $75,000 plus a $5,000 sign-on bonus and a full benefits package. Apply today by contacting Sigourney City Hall, emailing ashley@sigourneycouncil.com, or visiting Sigourney.com. The City of Sigourney is an equal opportunity employer. Yeah, here we are. Time for some real talk on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. Aaron is shadow boxing, kung fu.
I don't know what I'm doing today, Steve. I'm just kind of feeling frisky and like it's springtime and I'm kind of peppy. And so, I don't know if I'm
Some sort of exercise routine.
boxing or I feel a little bit like with the foreshortening, like maybe I'm in an anime cartoon or something.
I'll use the force on you. Yeah, force choke.
The force choke, isn't that a dark side?
Well,
A dark side move. Have you watched The Mandalorian?
yeah.
Okay. You know what's really disturbing to me, besides Baby Yoda using the force choke, which is a dark side thing. So I've been told. Like, but like, there's the episode where they're smuggling some there's refugees. And they have a jar full of their babies who are like tadpoles, and Baby Yoda starts eating their children. Like that was really kind of dark and disturbing. And
Maybe Baby Yoda is he's the next Darth Vader.
maybe he's the next Sith Lord.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, welcome to Real Talk, all of those of you who tuned in expecting us to talk about something deep and significant. Nope, today was Baby Yoda and anime pastor punching the screen with his kung fu abilities. I have no kung fu abilities, so also I don't even like anime.
Me neither. That's kind of weird.
So enough weirdness. Let's get down to the real talk, shall we, Steve?
Let's keep it real.
Keep it real. All right. So today's going to be an oldie but a goodie. I've got a couple of messages that I cycle around through every couple of years or so because they're foundational to me, and I think that every pastor probably has a certain set of foundational Bible passages or foundational messages that they like to come back around to. And I don't have a problem with that. And I don't have a problem that other pastors have different foundational messages than me. I think it's like a thing that God does. And it's okay that we have different churches with kind of different emphases. What is that word? Emphases?
Sure. Whatever you say, I will agree with.
Thank you.
Emphases.
So different churches can have different emphases. I have my Bible here today. You'll notice it's a really big book, and there's a lot in it, and more emphases than one person can emphasize.
Or emphasize.
Or thanks, Mr. Smarty Pants. More than one person can emphasize in a lifetime. And that's okay. God is a big, big God, and no single individual human is going to reflect all of the glory of God. So anyway, one of my personal emphases is one of my oldies but goodies comes out of Matthew chapter 16, and it's this place where the background is Jesus takes his disciples to the city of Caesarea Philippi. And that's an interesting story with a long and kind of sordid background. Like you dig into the Old Testament stories, and Caesarea Philippi was initially founded by some Israelites from the tribe of Dan, and they found it out of disobedience. Okay. Like God told them to conquer a certain part of the promised land, and they try for a little while, and then they're like, "Nah, that's pretty hard. We don't want to do hard things. It's dangerous. We don't want to do dangerous things. It's scary. We don't want to do scary things." And so they get this harebrained idea that they'll go off and go outside of the promised land to territory that God had not given them, and they go and do that because it's easy. And in the process of doing that, kind of long story short, in the process of doing that, they take up idol worship. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of festers there for a couple of hundred years until the first king of the northern Israel, the northern tribes of Israel, establishes an official shrine there, makes some golden calves. Oh, where have we heard of golden calves before? And he installs those golden calves there, and away we go. So by the time of Jesus, this has been a Greek city for hundreds of years, and the Greeks just kind of glommed onto the whole golden calf idol worshiping thing because they were idol worshipers. They saw nothing wrong with that, and it was a pretty cool place to worship idols, I guess. And there was a cave in the hillside, and the Greeks called it the gates of Hades, the entrance to the underworld. Mm-hmm. And so they built a temple to Pan and a couple of other temples, all kinds of Greek gods running around. And they did a lot of idol worshiping things there that we probably won't talk about on air because it's just gross stuff. And it's the last place that a good Jewish rabbi, at least as far as I know, it would be the last place that a good Jewish rabbi would take a bunch of good Jewish boys. There's some scholars who say Jesus' disciples were probably all teenagers, except for maybe Peter, we know Peter was married, so maybe he was a little bit older and might explain why he was kind of the leader because he was like the oldest guy. But so we don't know about that exactly, but here's Jesus, the rabbi, taking the good Jewish boys up to Caesarea Philippi for a little tour, and maybe they're there at the temple complex looking at these different Greek temples and this big rocky hillside, and it's in this place that Jesus asked them, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" Son of Man being this way that he would talk about himself. And they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. But what about you?" He asked, "Who do you say I am?" And then Simon Peter just kind of blurts out, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by man, but by my Father in heaven." So there's this kind of like, boom, aha moment where Peter puts into words for the first time, like maybe the disciples had suspected that Jesus was the Messiah, but finally somebody says it out loud. And Jesus says, yes, you're right. I am the Messiah. Good job, Peter. And then the story goes on from there. I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock, and what rock is he talking about? We'll get into this a little bit more next week. But on this rock, I will build my church. And so there's these 5 words here that I like to go back to, 5 foundational words, at least. Well, I think they're foundational for the establishment of the church, but they're, for me personally, super foundational, and for New Life Community Church in Wellman, Iowa. And we haven't told people where to find New Life Community Church. 257 8th Avenue. It's right in the heart of downtown, Steve. It's your friendly neighborhood church. Your friendly downtown church, kind of like the Superman or Spider-Man of churches. Like,
Sure.
Spider-Man, kind of a teenager.
Aaron does not wear a tight Spider-Man suit, though.
Oh, you haven't been at New Life for a while, have you? There's been some changes, Steve. Now, I can promise you one thing. I will never preach in spandex. You can rest assured.
Prayers answered.
Prayers answered. All God's people said amen. Yeah, we're going to stick to that one. There may be silly moments every once in a while. And speaking of silly, okay. I got to tell you this story, Steve. You're going to enjoy this. I told this in church on Sunday. And I tell this story because one of our mottos at New Life is God, friends, fun. And so we do have fun and we don't take ourselves too seriously. We take God seriously. We take loving each other seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. So here's my little story. I've been experimenting this year with listening to the Bible on YouTube, reading the Bible a little less, listening to it a lot more. Just to, I don't know, to experience it that way for thousands of years. That's the way most people heard the Bible. And so I'm going out on long walks and listening to, I got through half of Romans on a walk this morning. So last week and remember I said I'm YouTube, and there's ads on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out on a walk and I'm listening to the Gospel of Mark, and we get to this story where it says that Jesus took a small child and set it among the disciples. And Jesus said to them, "Are you a man over the age of 50 with prostate problems?"
Jesus said that, huh?
That's what it said on YouTube. And I was like, Lord, I'm not quite 50, but
Is God speaking to you through YouTube?
I'm going to say no. No. God would not have gotten my age wrong. It was seamless, though. It was perfect. Yeah. So I told that little story on Sunday, and we all had a good laugh about that. You employ technology to study the Bible, but just be careful,
Yeah.
Where did that fit in this whole thing? I don't know. We're just having fun at church. Listen, Jesus said, I'm going to break those 5 words down for you. I will build my church. Who's going to build the church? It's going to be Jesus that builds the church. It's not actually our responsibility to build the church. We are undergoing a church building project right now, have been ever since we got the building, probably will be for many more years. But we're renovating a building. We're not building the church. So it's Jesus that is going to build the church. He says, I will. He will build the church. It's not optional. It's not a question mark. He doesn't have doubts about it. We get doubts about it. Oh, no. We look at church attendance trends, and church attendance has been declining in the U.S. for 40 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's following the same trend as happened in Europe. And now there's some news out that maybe Gen Z men are starting to go to church a little bit more or something like that. But there's a great freedom from worry and despair when we put our trust in Jesus, that he said he will build his church. And even if we in this country have been in a period of decline, the church is taking off all over the world. In Africa and in South America, and there's stories. It's hard to figure out what's true because Iran is such a closed country, and now probably even more closed than before. But there's reports of underground church growth in Iran, and of course China, where the church has been underground for decades, and there's just explosive church growth. So Jesus said, I will build my church. And he intends to do it. He is going to do it. The question is not, is he going to do it? The question is, are you and I going to cooperate and participate and come along for the ride? So I will build. Jesus says he will build his church. The universe he spoke into existence. But the church is built, and that's a process. And sometimes it's a gritty process, and sometimes it's a process that's kind of like making sausage, which I have never done. And I've never seen blood sausage made either. Have you ever had blood sausage? Do you know what blood sausage is sometimes called blood pudding?
Not good.
I had it one time in Portugal, and it was in this really hearty Portuguese stew that was really great, except for the blood sausage. That's like, you kind of understand, 1,000 years ago, people were mostly starving all the time. So you butcher a pig and you collect all the blood and you mix it with oatmeal and maybe some herbs to give it a little flavor or something. And then you stuff that into the pig intestine. Like, why are we talking about this?
Make it stop.
Just keeping it real. Oh, church. Yeah, building. Jesus is going to build his church. And I said sometimes building the church is like making a sausage. And it's not always pretty. Like, the church is full of people. And the Bible says that God is building a house for himself out of living stones. And so living stones aren't always cooperative as those old dead stones, the chunks of granite or whatever. And living stones create friction with each other, and it's tough and it's hard but Jesus is going to do it. He's going to build. And then the fourth word is his, he said, I will build my church. So whose church is it? It belongs to Jesus. It doesn't belong to the pastor. It doesn't belong to the people. It certainly doesn't belong to the government or anybody else. The church belongs to Jesus, and we should probably remember that. Whenever we start to feel a little possessive about it or a little bit like anxious about it. Oh no, how's it going? Well, you know what? This is Christ's church, and he will do with it as he wills. And so maybe I could get off my high horse and stop pretending like I am the Messiah. Peter said really clearly that Jesus was the Christ, the Son of the living God, and that means that Aaron is not. So, yeah, get over yourself. That was for me, but also for anybody else that needs to hear it. Get over yourself. And then church, we think we have a pretty clear idea of church is like that, that brick building down the street with the steeple and the stained glass windows and stuff like that. That's not a church. A church is not a building. It never has been a building. It comes from a Greek word that means the free citizens of the city, who gather together to do the business of the city. And the Greek word is ekklesia. How would we turn that into church in English? Like, I don't know. We mess up lots of words. But then other people borrow our words and mess those up. So anyway, there you go. Jesus said, I will build my church. What's going on at New Life these days? I believe our job is to make disciples. So we've got a baptism class coming up this Sunday. That's going to be fun. We're going to probably kind of have a big batch of baptisms. I don't know if we'll do them all at once. Some people will want to wait for the annual pool party in Kelowna. That'll probably be in July. We got a stock tank we can fill up. We'll dunk some people in a stock tank out at the farm. But we got a bunch of people who are getting baptized. We're working on the building. We got a big garage sale during Wellman's citywide garage sale, May 1st and 2nd. If you loved garage sale, come on up and buy some stuff from us. Tons of clothes, including, Steve, and I know you'll find this fascinating, including a large quantity. I mean, it's got to be at least 100 pairs of what look like mostly new men's underwear.
Mostly new.
They look pretty new. They're not still in the bag, but they don't look too worn or soiled. So if you're in the market for what may be new men's underwear, I don't know where they came from. Somebody donated them. That's the thing with garage sales, is the stuff is donated. So, and they're like the boxer brief style. If our listeners out there wear boxer brief style men's underwear,
blood sausage and used underwear. This is a show.
This is real talk. People come here for real. They don't listen because they want us to talk about, something unreal. We're keeping it real. Oh. So anyway, those are some of the fun things going on in New Life. Of course, every Sunday morning we meet at 10 o'clock. and we have worship. It's a fun sound. It really is a fun sound. The room isn't real huge, but there's new faces almost every week. People are coming in, checking us out. You could be one of those new faces too. If you're looking for a church somewhere in the Wellman area, we'd love to have you join us. But just be warned. I mean, we're slightly goofy, and we're serious about leaning into this stuff about Jesus building his church and the messiness of that process and how it's kind of like blood sausage. And so I think that's it for now.
I think so too. Let's get out of here. We'll come back next Tuesday with another Real Talk. We'll see how real it gets next Tuesday here on Steve Shetler Media. Thanks to a New Life Community Church in Wellman for sponsoring. See ya.